talking to you and you were not here. I was trying to figure out what was going on. Okay, so trying to get this so you can see it. I want you to see everything. Okay. Lord, one day I'm gonna get this right, y'all. Alright, I think I got it right. Let me step behind it. Why do I try to look sideways? Oh, good thing. Why didn't y'all tell me? Okay. Yeah, we can move it down this way so I don't have to bend so much. Okay. Alright. So today I am doing a cloud pour, and for the first time I am going to use, actually, yeah, let me stop. I'm going to do a cloud pour, and I'm going to use Bare Satin Enamel. Today was supposed to be my deconstructive bloom day, but I turned on, ouch, I turned on the TV. You guys want to see what I'm doing? Because I know I'm out. Oh, I wasn't out that much. Okay, let's put it back. Stop touching. So I'm going to, yeah, I saw someone doing a cloud mix, and then I came over. I remember last night because I was supposed to paint last night, but I didn't because I remember that my paint was 1 ribbon thick, which is pretty thin, and I would have had to thicken it, and I didn't feel like it. And my brain was like, instead of thinking, okay, so just do such and such pour, I had, I can't move that fast, especially not late at night. And for some reason, I don't get in the mood to paint until I get tired, like around this time of night. And so I didn't do it. I'm trying to think, should I use this big one or what should I do, y'all? Whatever amount of paint that I use, I have to use double the Floetrol. So if I do 16 ounces, then I'm gonna have to do 48 of Floetrol. Good Lord, sure is a lot. We'll see, whatever. Either way, it gets used. It gets used, But let me, where's that? It's hard to see that. Maybe I should mark, I don't know where my markers are. I hate when I want to do one thing and then I'm gonna pick it up. If it's too heavy, then I'll look for something. Oops. See, being fast. About to make a mess. I was blowing the paint off the top of this, and I think when I inhaled, some of the little crumbs around it flew in my mouth. It could just be in my mind. I don't know. But let's just, let me see, where's that 32? I don't know why I like painting at night. I don't be in full brain capacity. But for some reason, at night is when I'm motivated to paint. Early in the day, when I could say, oh, take out 2 hours and paint and do work, I'm so paranoid that I'm going to be mad later, like, see, you should have did the work. So I end up not painting. I still feel like some of those little crumbs got in the back of my throat. All right. So it's a line, and I'm at the line. And now I have to get, that's 1 time. And I think I'm supposed to do 2 times as much Floetrol. So, yeah. Oh my goodness, I'm looking for my, I could use this big one, but thing I went in the kitchen. Who wants to get a big anything when you don't have to? So I have to go all the way up here. Can you guys see? I have to go all the way up here. Can you see my finger? Why do I feel like you guys are so interested? Like, what makes me think you guys want to see all of this? Some people are interested and they ask me questions. I don't think so much that they want to actually do it, but they're just curious. I'll be so mad if I look and if I go to read and it didn't say anything about doubling. But I know it did. And to make it so bad, the size that I am getting ready to make does not require all of this, but I am going to do a bigger one tomorrow, or if not tomorrow, one of these days when I get the guts. Probably I have a whole line of paint back over here. It's a fuchsia, it's like a lighter than navy type of a blue, a copper looking kind of color, a teal, darker teal green, a dark gray. It's not black, it's a really dark gray. And then some pastel lavender color that's so freaking light that when I did a painting 2 nights ago, man, that thing, it was the star of the show. And I never would have thought that it would look so good. But once I swiped it, oh, and I hated that I had to pour it off, but it wasn't the star of the show. No one came to see it. So, okay, let me go throw this in here. I don't know why I say throw it in there. I always feel like, no, just go ahead and rinse it and get it over with. And now I gotta mix this big monstrosity, and my spoon is filled with gray paint. Bluish gray on top of that. So I will wipe and rinse this off and then get to stirring for my painting. I really should have just made enough instead of this big overwhelming thing. That's gonna take me forever. I do have a blender. I need to see. Let me see if somebody's in the room so I can say hello. Nope, nobody's here. So, alright, as long as I'm not boring anyone. You'll come back later when you can fast forward, which is fine. I do it all the time. I've been doing it for years. I've had my YouTube account since the early 2000s. Am I aging myself? I have a blender, but I have enough stuff to clean. And this usually doesn't take a whole lot. And this is a darker color than the Floetrol. So I'll be able to see. And I have another one over there. I think I'm going to box it. You guys remember what I told you boxing is, right? When you pour from one container into the next and you go back and forth, that's called boxing in the painting world. Maybe not the fluid art world, but in the painting and wallpaper hanging trade, that's what we call it. I've been so many things in my life. It's weird. A teacher, painter, playwright, screenplay writer, producer, writer, director, author. I remember when I worked in corporate. I worked in corporate and human resources for years, and I remember they would always tell me about either different job postings, or they would tell me about other opportunities or what was coming down the road. You know, the big meetings that they had. You know, just trying to, if they have good workers, they want to pique your interest, so you apply for those jobs. And I remember them telling me about all of these different jobs, and I remember listening and saying to myself, like, okay, that's good for now, but I'm a writer. At the time, I don't know if I told you, but my camera was stolen, so I was depressed and I put filmmaking on the back burner. So what I said was, you know, least I could do is write my books. Because one thing I always wanted to do was be a successful writer. I wanted to write books, plays, and film. And I didn't want to write and direct. When I went and got my degree, uh, that's just how the university had it set up. You could not just write. You had to learn how to film. So I had to learn lighting. I had to learn camera. I didn't have to learn audio, thank God. They gave you a choice, audio or lighting. I chose lighting. Because I looked at a book. They used to always tell you in college, look at the book. It'll tell you what you're in for. Man, you talk about eyes crossed. My eyes crossed. I kind of wish that I did do it though, because my producing partner, Abdul Rahim, he's an audio tech, and he's been teaching me different things, and it's not too bad. See, it didn't take long. I'm afraid. I don't think I mixed it up good enough, but I'll keep going a little longer. But anyway, whew, my arm's getting tired. Let's see if the left arm can do as well. But anyway, yeah, so I would listen to them talk about the different jobs, but I was like, that's okay while I'm here. In my mind, it was like I have other dreams and aspirations. Like, I worked in corporate because I needed to make nice money. I was a single mom. I wasn't always a single mom, but for that particular time, I was. And I didn't want to not have as much, or my kids not have as much, because I'm a single mom. So that's why I worked in corporate, because I knew the different positions you can move up in. You know, having worked in human resources, you learn what positions pay what. And human resources pays pretty good. You know, dealing with people's benefits and all that stuff. So that's what I did, but I didn't have a goal in mind to be there forever. So I appreciate them for thinking that I was such a good employee that they wanted me, you know, as they moved up, they wanted to pull me up. I appreciate that. But in my head, and then it was one guy, he was a staunch Christian, and he used to always, you know, talk to me about different things and ask me questions, everything from the black community, black women. He was just very curious. And so he would ask me all these questions. And I guess through his observation, he began to learn what other people seem to not kind of get, which is Andrea's not going to be here for long. And I guess he was very observant enough that he picked that up. And one day, when one of my bosses, he should have retired, but I guess he got tired of staying at home, so they brought him back part-time. He was in his 80s, and he was also a writer. Very much like me, worked in corporate for the money to put his kids through school, but he wanted to be a writer. And he wrote a couple of books on history, but they didn't take off like he wanted. But pretty much, they were okay, but not like he wanted. So he understood me wanting to write. And so he would come over and talk to me. We had something in common, and he knew where I was coming from. So even though he was an older white man, he didn't blow up my spot like, look, she's not going to be here for long. But that other one, he blew up my spot. Not bad, but he just got right there and said, in the middle of a meeting, I guess probably because every time he would bring up something that we needed to implement, I was always the person to say, well, I don't know. Or if he said we couldn't do it, my boss, the director, she would look to me like, you think? And because I was always that type, like, well, let's see if we can. What if we do this? And I would just lay everything on the table. I'd leave and go back. They didn't know that we couldn't do it for at least another week because they were like, Andrea's going to come back. Just give her a minute. And then I would go in my boss's office and say, here, this is what I found. Or either, yeah, we can't do it. And so I guess that was one of those times when I must have opened my mouth. And he didn't, a lot of times he would say we couldn't do stuff because he was very conservative. I don't know if he was Republican, but he was very conservative and not wanting to, because we were working on a benefit plan for the employees. He didn't want to give anything. You would think he didn't have the benefits. And I know he was making nice money, but jeez, when you got a bunch of kids, you know, he was, when I say staunch Christian, he was one of those ones that really believe in having like huge families, you know. So I think he had like about 6 or 8 kids. So you would just think that, you know, he would want to protect his own, you know, his own interests or whatever. Not saying rob the company, but just make sure you have a competitive benefits package. But nope. And so one of the times I opened up my mouth, and I guess he felt like I had it coming. So he said, I don't even know what we're talking about. And he just stared at me and he said, you're not going to be with us long, are you? You're going to leave. For something, going somewhere, somehow, I just know you're going to leave. And this was about maybe a year before I actually left, because I was there a few years. And I was like, no, I don't have any plans on it. I said, why, you have a job? And he was like, no, you're going to leave. And so then they looked around, and next thing you know, my boss calling me, the director in the office, asking me, am I happy? And I was like, yeah. I said, don't listen to him. I said, maybe he's just mad. I said, I never said anything to him to make him think that I'm leaving, you know. And then maybe a year and a half, if maybe a little less, I ended up leaving. And he said, see? But it was a lateral move. I just got tired of somebody else, a racist person in the office, and was putting everybody on the spot because they had worked with her for years, even though they knew she was poking and picking at me. And I just got tired. Like, listen, I can't turn the other cheek but so much. So I took that lateral move, and I left. I didn't leave for what he thought. He thought I was going to leave, you know, for writing. So this is my medium. I should probably paint and come here often and talk about some stuff, because I have people who are on my case about why don't I talk about writing. And I'm like, well, when I come on to paint, I'm painting, and it's bad enough I'm trying to talk this out. Can you imagine, if you've listened to my other videos, you've heard me talk about what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, and I'm really talking out loud to talk myself through it. Can you imagine me getting up in here and talking about something OT, totally off topic? I just feel like the amount of mistakes that I would make. And I can see you now, whereas someone was screaming before, no, don't mess that up, I want to buy that painting. I can see y'all now like, oh my goodness. So I don't know. I think if I was just regular painting or doing some texture work, like I did a painting with the there's these old hip hop faces that we used to draw. This guy used to draw them, and I just got curious, like, how do y'all do that? Because I would look at them and they were so odd, and I don't know why I was so curious, but I was, and he showed me how to do it, and I would draw them for years, ever since he showed me. I think I might have been, I don't know, I might age myself if I say it, but anyway, I was like, all right, let me do a textured art piece, you know, something hip hop. So I drew it, and I made it into texture. And while I was doing it, I was like dead quiet because I knew what I was doing. There was no questions, no chemistry. This is straight chemistry. I'm using Penetrol, which is a chemical. I'm using Floetrol, which is also a chemical medium. Then some of these paints, the companies use different recipes or ingredients, you know. I'm an artist chemist. That should be a thing. And I want compensation accordingly. You should see me carrying canvases upstairs that's almost bigger than me. And I haven't even, I've only done two. I think they're 3 foot by 4 foot. And I'm so intimidated. One of them I need to do over. I'm going to try to get the guts up to do that one this weekend. That's what I was going to save this paint for, this, and do the cloud pour. But I think, whatever. You know what I mean? Okay. I'm going to move this here. I believe I have this at the consistency that I need. So we can get started and I can start running my mouth. Let me get the iPad so I can see if someone's in the room. Now the iPad, I always snap my finger. Oh! I didn't snap my finger, but it scared me to death. My mother hates when I say that. Scared me to death. I'm like, it's a figure of speech. I probably got it from her. Let me. I don't know why my phone is looking so dark. I think my phone is on this last leg. I'm sorry if you guys are shaking. Okay, did y'all disappear? It just looks so dark and I don't know if it's filming dark. Am I blocking? You know I'm tall, I'm Paula Bunyan. Yeah, I see my shadow. Ugh, sorry. I can bring this other light over here. Well, maybe tomorrow. I didn't even hook it up. This weekend I'm hoping to get my phone out. Not what did I say my phone? I'm recording on my phone now. This weekend I'm hoping to get my let's see. What's the echo? Yeah, this weekend I'm hoping to the goal is to get my camera out and start working filming with the camera. And I know some people are going to say, wait, she's a filmmaker, why is she so nervous? But I have not taken that camera out in a long time. Very long time. I made this too thin. Look. The other ones are 1 Mississippi. This is not a 1 Mississippi. Why did I do that? I'm going to pour some of it out. And then thicken it. I probably poured too much out. See, chemistry. I was mixing in. Probably shouldn't say chemistry. Not in today's world, with everything going on around the world. Bad enough when I'm coming in with all these canvases and cans of paint and big 5-gallon spackle compound. What else did I come in with? The Floetrol, the Penetrol, big cans of it. I don't know people be well. Once you see the canvas, like you should be able to put 2 and 2 together. If you can't, then you're just looking for trouble. But you should be able to put 2 and 2 together at that point. All right, I'm gonna test it because white I can never tell. What did I do? I wish my neighbor was blasting music. I try to be conscious of people. I'm not blowing anything, so that's fine. Usually I'm taking the blow dryer out. Like for some reason, not only do I want to paint at night, but that's always the one that I'm doing. 1, 2, 3. Where's that spoon? 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's do the test. They're around the same. Alright, so you can't tell with white. Good thing I did the test. I had to learn because I get so excited about painting, and then I'm also trying to remember everything. And I usually want to paint after I finish writing grants, so my head is full with all kind of things that I need to know and remember from writing the grants. It's crazy. And then coming here doing chemistry, and so I end up making a boo boo. Where should I put this? I think I have a small bottle over here of cloud pour. The mix that I just did is considered cloud pour, so I'm gonna pour it in here since it was so thin. Because I had used some. I don't even know what I used some, but I used it on something because it's not a lot. Yeah, that satin enamel is expensive. $35 can of paint. And I went to the store the other day because I always, if I'm in the area, which is really almost right down the street, but about a quarter of a mile or maybe half a mile down. So I'll stop in, it's about half a mile. I'll stop in Home Depot and go up to the paint counter and say, hey, you have any satin enamel or eggshell paint on sale? I don't care what color because I'm going to use it one way or another. And so, because you use the eggshell and the satin enamel to do the cloud pour. So he was like, yeah, but it's this color. And he showed it to me. It was an off-white. It looked just a teeny bit more beiger than that. I'm talking, it might as well have been white because it was so close. It was closer to white than off-white. So he was like, yeah, I don't know if you want it because I was like, what? Sir, how much? Because usually when they mark it down, usually I think they mix it for someone and the person doesn't come, or they say, hey, I asked you for whatever and you gave me whatever. So they end up, they put it over there. And I guess it happens so much because every time I go, they got something. I got this purple. See it? I have a sky blue. So I'm gonna start laying this down while I'm running my mouth. Yeah, so I was like, yeah, I'll take it. So he gave it to me. And like I said, it's usually marked down to like $10. Something that's normally 30 something dollars and it's now 10. What? Give it to me. I wouldn't care if that color was Hades. Well, I kind of care. But yeah, give me that color. I'll make it work somehow, some way. I'm gonna do the pink because I like the way the pink blends, at least in my mind. The way I have it all set up in my mind. The pink and the white is gonna marry and make beautiful babies. Now normally I put it in the little pockets, but no. We're not doing that. Especially because certain colors, I don't like when they pour off. It depresses me. And usually that's gold. Oh my goodness. If you watch my other paintings, you know I like to have it fit. Now this color, I had this color before I got the pink. I don't even know if they're gonna hit it off well, but we'll see. This is sort of like it's a little lighter than copper. It looks like the best penny they ever made. Like the lightest of pennies. Remember how the pennies used to be? This is a little lighter than those brand new spanking brand new pennies that used to come off the machine. I don't know if they came off the machine, but I'm just saying, this is how good this looks. And I don't know what it looks like to you, but I'm just trying to give you a visual. I don't know how it's going to go with this, but I mixed some silver in it, so it's going to have a shimmer. And I've seen some people, namely Molly, in You know, my favorites, Molly and Cameron from Waterfall Acrylics. I've seen them put some colors together that you just would not do. And it turned out so nice. Let's hope this is one of those times. Now, how you know a cloud pour is going to take is because when you pour whatever color you're going to put on there, when you pour it on the white, where the white and that color meet, you see a little shady part. Now, I don't know if you can see it, but I see it around the pink. It's a tiny little bit of a little shade. That means that the chemical reaction from the Floetrol in this satin enamel paint is reacting to whatever chemicals or whatever that they use to make that pink paint. Actually, I made it, but they make the paint. It was red, Artist Loft red, and what was it? Artist Loft white. And so I made it a pink. Actually, I had this color from Dollar Tree, and I threw that in there with the red, and then I added the white, and that's how I came up with that pink. Right? Yeah. Which I just made, by the way, tonight. The rest of these I made last night. But anyway, you see how you can see, like right here where my finger is, you can't see it because the white is over it, but right beneath that, there's that pink. But the white does take over, but you can still see a shadow of the other color. Like that looks like the pink stops there and then that's white, but where you see a little bubbles, that's because that's pink under there. It's reacting. I love this blue. There's certain colors that drive me nuts. And this blue green is one of them. The other one is like a cranberry burgundy. Like I see a few artists, fluid artists, go bananas over magenta. The real magenta that I have seen in like clothes and different things, that's nothing for me. The magenta in paint, I tend to like that pretty much. So you probably wondering, why is she not putting anything on the white? Because I know what's going off. And I don't know why I'm thinking. It's not gold. Like, come on, some of the colors got to go off using. But that's just why I wasn't doing it. My brain. I'm trying to debate whether I want to use this or just save it for tomorrow. Because I have enough paint on there to do what I have to do. And I actually have to add some more white. So I'm going to save this for tomorrow when I do that great big Gigantor painting, that 2x4 foot. If I do it tomorrow, I might do it Sunday. But I'm going to put this plastic over it and a bigger piece of plastic. And I'm going to save that. I went running out. You know I have lupus, so the sun is like poison. And I went running out today. And, you know, when I go in the store, I take my glasses off. But when I go outside, if I don't put my glasses on before that sun hits me, and it just does, the sun does something to you. I can't, anybody with lupus can tell you. It's hard to explain. But somebody would think that you went and got high. It just takes, it zaps your energy, something fierce. And that's exactly what happened. So let me explain if you don't know already. And I want to get the smaller one, but I hate the smaller one. The smaller spackle knife or palette knife for this art. I need to take the paint over the white, and then I'm going to get a chemical reaction. Sort of like these circles that you see popping up, that's the reaction for the color and the white. And even right there, that's a reaction. But you have to take the color over the white. Let me do. See, that's reacting. See the bubbles? That's the reaction. I know y'all probably say, if you say reaction one more time. Oh. Okay, that's acting. Acting. See, I didn't say reaction, that's acting. And I did say I was going to add some more weight because I need to put this over. It's sort of kind of too thin. Not too thin, but it's thin. And in order for me to do my little swipe, I need to have some wipe to swipe it over. So I'm only going to put it in a couple of places. Alright. Let's take these colors here. And it's quite thin, so. I was gonna say, if I don't get the reaction that I want, I'm gonna have to get my swipe, my Penetrol mix. So let me. It's reacting pretty good. Let me instigate. I'm gonna instigate this. And I think it's time to fill this back up with some more butane. I'm gonna try another swipe knife as well. Sometimes I try to do that one because I love it, but sometimes the others do a better swipe. Like this one does pretty good, but it's not my favorite. So I'm gonna try to take some of this blue. Nice reaction. This is still big. I don't have one that's in between. I have another one, but it's small. I'm gonna get that smaller one and go that way. But, that's nice. I wish this reacted a little more. We got more. Well, let's put some more white over here. Well, no, it's gonna pour off. So what's the sense? Let's put some white here. And sometimes they tell you to make them all the same consistency as far as thinness. So like all of them should be a 2-second ribbon or a 1.5-second ribbon. But when I make this colored paint thinner than that, the reaction is out of this world. It acts like that. They tell you if you're going to make one thinner, then make the white thinner, but it doesn't seem to do a thing for me. I like how it was blended over the white. And I did buy another little swipe tool to play with. I have a couple of tiny ones. When I say tiny, you probably will slap me when you say, like, girl, what are we gonna do with that little thing? Remind me on Eddie Murphy when that guy, when Arsenio Hall pulled out that tiny gun, and after they do all that shooting, then he would go pap, pap, and then he got mad and hit him with it. So this is the tiny one I'm talking about. See? Let's see what happens with that. You already popped me for pulling out this little tiny thing. Alright, and then I have these two. This one I haven't seen in a long time. And this is just a regular spatula because I've seen some people use spatulas and this one had Mickey Mouse. So I was like, maybe I'll try it. So I'm thinking about it, but I don't know. I may save that for if I have to go over it with the catalyst, the swipe catalyst. There's another one I have, but I don't see it. I don't see it, but I see the scissors that I was looking for and couldn't find. Isn't that something? If I can get some more like that, I would be a happy camper. So let's, no, I like that. Let's make that. No, I don't want to use a small one. You can't satisfy people. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. This one seems to travel really well. I don't like how that did. Right there. Messed up my little pink I had going on. It's so weird. One, you do it one way, it comes out nice. You do it another way, and it's like you should have left well enough alone. I need to get some more of that. That was this one, wasn't it? Do you guys remember? No. I definitely wanna. Well, I don't wanna mess that up, but. And this looks good. I like that design. It's got a little paisley kind of thing going on. Oh, look at that. I think patience is the word that I need to employ tonight. Let's take this way. Look at that. That's cute. I like that. That brown is making it happen, y'all. But I think that's because it has the silver in it. This is gonna pour off. This is definitely gonna pour off. Reaction. So blue over that brown seems to bring forth reaction. See, this one was the brown over the blue, no reaction. But the blue over the brown, reaction. Y'all want to test that out again? Let's take that blue over that. Reaction. I think it's because the silver that's in the brown. I like what this is doing over here. So blue over the brown, reaction. See, this one I took the brown over the blue, no reaction. So I'm going to come back that way. That was a gorgeous color. See the way it's blending right there? I'm definitely not pouring off. Look how it's reacting. So the blue has to, blue over brown, blue over brown. Alright, so now that I know that, I'm gonna use this one and pray none of this paint on here comes off. Reacting really well. I'm going to take this through there somehow. See, I saved you. I didn't say blue over the brown again. I just did it. Uh-oh. There was some paint on here. I hope it came off on this cloth and not in the painting. There was some dry paint. Once you start taking it through the paint, it loosens. I'll soak that. I haven't seen this thing in maybe a year, because I have a box that I have them in with a few other things. Okay, I need some blue over that brown. Isn't that something? I wonder if I should lighten it up. Yeah. I'm gonna make it a little thinner. Because that'll make the brown able to come through. It's hard when it's really heavy. It's a harder job for it. Might even get that pink to react. So after I do those, then I'm gonna be done. And I'm gonna use this one because I'm gonna go back over that. Look at that. I don't want to mess up those cells right there. But I don't like that blurriness right there. What am I trying to do? See if I can get this to react. Alright, what's the last one? Alright, what happened there? Some of this paint that's over here I'm gonna put here so it can pour off. Some of this paint that fell on the table. Alright, I don't like this Milky Way. feel like so now that could come off. And then I will pour brown here. Since we know the blue reacts with it, I'll put some blue right here. Tease a little white here. I'm doing this so that the blue can ride over the white, and I'll maybe get some pearls. That's another type of reaction, when the colors like literally ride over them. So then let me put some more right here then, because there's some white there. I can't stand that moment of truth. I don't know if any other artists go through it. I think I'm going to go to some of the groups on Facebook and ask them, when it's time to pour, to stretch it out. Not pour, but when it's time to stretch it all out to see the final product, are your nerves bad? Because mine are always popping. This is going to be another funky painting. I did one the other day. It turned out nice. I don't think anything's going to happen there. Going to have to make it happen. Let's do... something like that, with hopes that we get a good reaction. And then this one, I want to bring there, although I know a lot of it's going to come off. See, where it gets thinner, that's when it starts reacting, because the other paint can pierce through. So then let me, but I'm trying not to mess that up because that's too gorgeous. some reaction there. That's gonna come off though, so. I'm gonna do a little here and see if I get the reaction I got with that over the brown. So that'll tell me what I can do there, if anything. I like how that's mixing. See that blue and that pink, how they're mixing? So I want to do it and then take it down there. I'll stop like about there because I like that, but I know that's going to come off. Ah, I went too deep. Oh, look at. I don't know. This was good with the pink, but I went too deep there and it just messed the rest of it up. I'll see how it stretches off. And then we'll take it from there. So some more come there because that's thinned out. I must have used a lot of blue. Having said that. My thought was if I did use a lot of blue, then that should cover that up. And it did. But by it thinning it out, hopefully it turns into something really nice. This is either going to look really nice or really funky or ugh. See how the heat made that one pierce through? It's time to pour it off. That's why I'm trying to give it some heat. So whatever it's going to do, it can go ahead and do. Because it's time to pour it off. Some people pour it off so early. You know, maybe they want to because they know what they're going for. But I've seen some people pour it off so early and the cells didn't get a chance to really like do the chemical reaction. Some people I've seen pour it and then walk away and come back and they'll put on the screen 10 minutes later. And I've never put it on the screen, but I've definitely walked away for 10 minutes. But when you do that, you got to make sure you have enough paint on the canvas because I've come back and then in some places the paint doesn't move because it started to really dry. So definitely got to be careful with that. All right, we're at that point now. It's that time. That time that I'm always nervous about. I think that's why I start running my mouth. Because I literally say, okay, this time just paint. Just shut up. Just close your mouth. And I can't help it. But sometimes I'm thinking out loud. And then one time I said I wasn't going to talk, and then one of my friends texted me and said, no, I'm trying to learn. I'm like, you're going to paint? She's like, no, but I'm just learning because she knows once I got into this, I really got in. All right, so I don't think any more cells are going to come there. I don't want to mess it up by trying to whatever. But I do think that this is definitely, if I have some place that I need to stretch more than other places, that's going to be this. Like all of that got to come off. That look like chicken pox, measles, and some other stuff all mixed up with milk. All right, y'all ready? So I'm gonna pour that off, and I'm gonna pour that off. I hate that a lot of this may come off. I hope not, because it looks so nice. So let's go there first. Should we? No, let's go here first. How about that? Let's get rid of some of that white down there. Bring this back. Come back over. Come back. See, I'm trying to save those cells down there. But okay, that's alright. I'll save. It'll have that Milky Way look like we're out of space. Let me bring this back down. And then bring this over. Some of that needs to come off. And I'm trying to do it where it comes off and not those cells down there. And that's hard. But I got a lot of paint on here, so something's got to give. Do more down there need to come off? Oh boy, decisions. Just a little. Nope. And the reason why I said no is because of what's down the other end. I'm taking my eyes off of it for a few seconds so that when I look at it again, there'll be somewhat fresh eyes. Sometimes you stare at it. I did a painting and I scraped that whole painting, and I was watching it the other day, not on purpose, but it just one of my videos happened to come on, and I said, let me just see. And when I saw, I said, oh my God, is that the one I scraped? I hope I didn't scrape it. Sure enough, right in front of my face, I scraped it. At that time, it's scrape worthy. Later, you're like, what did I do? So I hate to, I'm gonna take some of it this way to bring this back down, but I don't like how that's stretching down there. So, sorry if that looked really crazy, but I was trying to save those cells down the other end. Now, I gotta stop and take a look. This is funky as heck. Oh my goodness, I didn't mean for this to look like this. It's not bad. When I say funky, I mean it just, I think in my brain, there's paisley, there's abstract, and then there's funky. And that's what's happening here. This has taken on a life of its own. And because I was trying to have that blue do so much swiping, that's taken on a life of its own. And it's supposed to swipe over the white, and I ended up getting a better reaction from it swiping over the brown. But that's why I tell, whether I'm looking online or whether I'm talking to people who do this professionally, I don't know what the heck is wrong with me, but when I swipe over the white, if I make my white, okay, so your white is supposed to be, your color paint is supposed to be thicker than your white. Your white is supposed to be thinner. It works for me vice versa. My colors have to be thinner. I hope I said that right. My colors have to be thinner though. I don't know how I said it, but that's what it has to be in order for me to get the cloud pour that I'm going for. Look, this is not a cloud pour. This is a funky painting, and it looks cute, but this is not a cloud pour. I'm going to get one of my cloud pours and show you. Yeah, I don't like that. I like the cells, but I don't like that corner. I already know some. We didn't. It spilled off when it was down here, but we didn't pour any off, so we already know some have to come off down there. So let's head on over here. Push it that way, and then we can save some cells. Hopefully. Ah, I like this corner. That pink and the way that brown is down there, but that corner, some paint gotta go from somewhere. It can't all stay on. So as I'm telling you, I'm talking myself into accepting it. Hit that corner. This looks like a funky Milky Way or something. Galaxy something. I'm trying to get it so that it's even. Let me see something. This looks weird down here. Let me pull some back. And then come back down to that corner. I don't know if my hand hit it or I just didn't let it go all the way over there. Oh, please don't take all my cells. Ugh. So now I have a conundrum. This is slanting down here, and I don't like that. But if I tilt it this way to fix it, that comes off. Jeez. This needs to come this way. This needs to straighten up. The only alternative is to go this way. Which means I'm gonna end up losing that down there, some of those cells. But you gotta make those decisions. I don't like it. I have areas that I like, but I don't like it. I'm in love with this over here. I love the way this pink is busting through. It's telling me, look, straighten me out and fix me up and screw them down there because they're not popping. That's what it's telling me. Because this whole corner here looks good. Even the way it's blending, pink, darker blue, lighter blue. All the way over here is popping. This is okay. That's okay. I don't like that. But I know it's going to shimmer and glisten and shine, but I don't like it. This doesn't look good. This doesn't look good. This looks like a bird. That's the head, the beak, that's the body. I don't know why his legs are behind him like that. I don't like this. That looks good, but... And that probably looked good. I'm going to pour it off. And then we're probably going to have to put some more paint on here. Yeah. Trying to get that to straighten up so I could like it down there where I said it glistens. Let's bring it back and see. I don't like that now. But I gotta be careful because I'm stretching this down here. So whatever I pour off, I gotta bring it back. So you gotta save enough paint to bring it back. And I gotta be careful because that could start stretching all crazy. I don't like it, guys. And if I keep messing around, I'm not gonna like this either. Because I already don't like this. Some nice stuff is perking through, but I don't think it's gonna be enough. I will take the torch to it. This definitely gotta go because I've already seen the Grim Reaper. That's his head. This is his hand and fingers. I can't. No, that's gotta go. Hello, thanks for joining me. So this gives everything an opportunity to do what it's gonna do. Show me what we're working with, because if not, I gotta scrape. Because I don't like it. And I can see me now trying to save this, only to turn around and make it into a planet painting. And I hope it's not going to be one of those things where I look later and I say, oh my goodness, that was fine. What was I bugging out for? But I don't like this corner. Grim Reaper gotta go. I might as well just scrape him off now. Let me turn it around. Feel free to comment. I have my iPad over here so I can see if you comment. Let me know if you like it, don't like it. Am I bugging? Am I in my head? Yeah. All right. I don't know what happened. Hold on. Yeah, I don't know what happened. Well, yeah, I do. Why am I saying that? The battery died. And I am putting this blue Look at what happened. I'm making the white thinner. That's what they say. Make the white thinner. Never worked for me, but I'm going to try it now. I want to see what happens with that so I'll know how to proceed. So I'm going to rinse this cloth off. I'm going to take this blue over that and see what happens. Everything's a test right now. Let's see what kind of reactions we get. Okay, some reaction here, see, right there. That's about it though. So, let me pull up that other. So this one I'm gonna just, I love how that turned out. I don't know about this one here. I think I went pressed down a little too deep. This was nice though. We'll see what happens here. Oh God, I didn't mean to do that. I was trying to take that blue over it. some cell reaction, just like right there, but that blue over the brown is just what's working. Might as well just accept it. Ah. I wonder if this one is working for me. I think it's this one that's doing it. Yeah, I think it's this one. See the reaction? So I didn't say anything, but in my brain it was like, too bad that's gonna end up coming off the edge. And then it occurred to me, it doesn't have to. You could swipe the other way. Hello. You could put a little pink on this and let that people pour off. What pours off. I don't want to mess up that because that's gorgeous. Hmm. Look at that reactor. I'm gonna stop because it started getting too deep. My goal was to see if I should take the pink over. I hate when it ends up taking longer than I wanted. I'm trying to save this thing. I'm taking a look now to see if I like it and if it's worth all this time I'm putting into it. Mm-mm. Ah, the bottle was in my way. Darn it. Alright, it's time. I either like it or I don't at this point. And I didn't like that down there. But I don't know what to do. Let me deal with this down here and then I'll decide what I'm going to do. What don't I like about down here? The whole, it's just stretchy and it's bothering me. I don't even know if I could wait. I'm going to because I've messed up paintings like that, not waiting. Alright, let's take this back this way. See, some's moving, some isn't. Bring it back. Bring it back. Oh, this is the most awkward. Bring it back. Some of that needs to come off. I don't know why I'm trying to save this still. I guess I just wasn't in the mood for a failure today. But I personally think it is what it is. Now I'm just playing. I don't like it. Honestly, much as I hate to do this, it pains me. Let's see what we salvage. I'll save that. I don't know what we're gonna get, but we're gonna go for it. Potluck. That's what I'm gonna start calling this kind of painting. Thank goodness everything on the bottom was clean. I'm just scooping it up there so we can throw it once or twice. Make sure I don't bust that plastic up. See, I'm trying to save that little sign that I was so in love with. But we'll see what happens. I can at least say I tried, right? Sometimes when I do this, it turns out really nice. I got a painting over there that I don't even like pink, but it turned out really good. And I don't know if I want to sell it. We'll see. Let me make sure. I don't want to scrape anything. I don't want to pick up anything from the painting that was under this. The plastic, sorry, that was under this. Because then I'll be scraping it for a whole other reason. Look at all that good stuff. putting it on top of, since it's a lot of metallic paint. So I'm setting it on top of all of that white. Oh boy, I'm almost off the table. Alright, it's coming back, guys. I don't know what this is going to look like. I don't claim to know. But I'm going to try to leave this here and scoop that a little bit. Ah, dang it. I didn't mean to knock stuff off the table. Got a little strawberry look going on there. All right. Okay. Actually, the blue needs to go with the brown, don't it? Didn't we discover that already? Andrea? Dang it. As my mother would say, you can't fall any further than the floor. I've hit rock bottom with this painting. I've got to stop painting at night if I feel tired. Note to self. All right. All right, now I like certain things, like that grape business. It's gonna come off, so let's see. Mm. Mm. Trying to figure out what I don't like the most. What has to go off? You know what I could do. It's got a lot of paint on it. I like this. I don't like that whatever under it, but it is what it is. Something's gotta go. So is it this corner here? And then take off some of the blue and that? Or is it that down there? And I really don't like that, so how about we start there? And not ironically, but sadly, some of this has to come off. Just trying to finagle it so we get some of that shimmer. And some more has to come off. Alright, what are we doing? I don't like that. Why is it getting milky? I'm gonna have milk. Let me have milk. It's not bad. I always try to think to myself, if nobody buys it, can I live with it on my wall? And if I can, then I know we're good to go. Not even if I can live with it, but if I like it enough that I would have it on my wall, then we're good to go. If I'm like, nope, then it gotta go. So, nice little corner of paint in this cup, but it do not want to come out. I don't know if that's God trying to tell me leave it alone. What? I tried to leave this alone, but I just can't help myself. Don't worry, I'm gonna bring it back. Just too much paint on here. Okay. Let's see. Abstract is I don't know what, but I like it. Got some colors we didn't ask for, like this peach. The only way I could live with that mixing of the paint was to put this blue over it. Okay. I'm complete. I don't like what I just did. Too much heat. Make the unknown colors come up. Sometimes you do that and they calm down because they start mixing. I wish I had some more blue because I would run it right up there. I don't like what I did there. But I guess it's fine because of that right there. And then it just looks like whatever. Like chicken pox. Alright guys, I am happy. And it is time to start catching up on some Z's. I like how this is doing. Alright, well, it wasn't what I was going for, but we made lemonade out of lemons. And you know what? It probably was needed because every time I try to follow somebody else's recipe with the cloud pour, it does not turn out right. Now, granted, here we don't have a lot of clouds. We only have a little white here, and it's kind of streamed and mixed up in places. But it just never fails. Every time I follow somebody's recipe, it doesn't work. My clouds are either extra thick or either like this. They just don't come through. So I think I'm just gonna start sticking to my cloud pour. The one that I was given, that I mixed today, said 1 part bare satin enamel to 2 parts Floetrol, and that's what I mixed earlier. But you see the outcome. I didn't get my clouds. I mean, I got a nice funky little painting that we salvaged, that we made lemonade out of from lemons, but it wasn't what we were going for. We were going for a nice cloud pour. So wherever you see that little blue mix, see all up in between, if things would have been right, those would have been white clouds. So I'm just gonna stick with mine. I don't understand, why 1 + 1 is 2 with someone else, but when I do it, it's a negative, or it's a 4. I never understand that, but it's just the way it's always worked out. My cloud pour, when the colors are thinner than the cloud mix, then I get nice clouds. It fades and everything just properly. When I try to make the white thinner than the other paints, only one time, no, about maybe 3 or 4 times it happened, but it was by mistake. It wasn't what I was going for, it just happened to happen. So anyway, this is it. Should I turn it? Let me turn it. Wait, no, this is the way the phone is. Okay, so you can see it. Right? You got everything? You see the full painting? This is what we're working with. And like I said, I'm happy with it. If I had to keep it, if it didn't sell and I had to put it on my wall, I'd be happy. Because it's really funky. It looks like a river. Remember that movie, A River Runs Through It? This is it. And the river is running through it in a weird kind of a way. Just like the movie. I think that was the movie with Brad Pitt, if I'm not mistaken. Anthony Hopkins was his father. And they were all nuts. Lived out in the Midwest. Nuttier than the professor. I guess nuts for us in our time. But I guess that was normal. If I got the right movie. But anyway, thank you for joining me. I feel like I'm in your light. Thank you for joining me. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. And I will be gearing up to do, I got some work to do tomorrow, and then I will be gearing up to do this 2x4. So this weekend, because I'm getting ready for a exhibit, where I'm going to exhibit my paintings. And I have a lot that I'm going to give away. I have a lot that I'm going to sell. I'm giving them away to businesses, to help with their decor. Because some, places they end up going to Dollar Tree or, whatever to get some art. So I thought about it and said, I want to give some to businesses. Oh my God, look at that. I got to put some paint right there. That will not work. Looks crazy. I must have touched it with my finger. Alright, let me touch up my edges and run in my mouth like I'm done, and now I see all the stuff that I need to touch up. But thank you for joining me and checking out my painting. This is, I can't even touch, I dubbed myself the Fix It Queen, because from the minute I started doing fluid art painting, I rarely get it on the first go. I mean, I could just follow the technique and the rules and then say done, da-da. But I love abstract. I've been doing art so long, even though I've only been doing fluid art for about 3 or 4 years. But I've been doing art for so long that more mixed media type stuff, but it has to look right. I have to walk away feeling like, okay. And this, I can't even tell you what I think this is. I do think over here it's like land. You know how sometimes red mountains, like in the west, it feels like those are like bird's eye view. Looking down through the funny looking clouds, seeing the river runs through it. Whatever that pink is, pink sand, whatever we want to call it. And then these being like rocks or mountains. They look like rocks from here, but probably people walking around that you can't see because they look like ants from up this high. You know what I mean? And then over here, same thing. Maybe there's some muddy water. Not the singer, but actual muddy water. I don't know. It just looks really funky. A lot of really nice stuff going on. Look at what's, as time goes on, look at what's happening. Right here, we got some cells. It's really nice. Let me take you in closer. Hold on. And watch this plug. Because I am notorious. See? And I don't mind that that's stretched out some. But look at that corner. Very nice. It's going to be nice and shimmery. And look at that right there. Very nice. Nice little pink situation going on. I heard there's pink sand. I've never seen it. Look at that. Cells. Nice. I think those are pearls. Now I was looking for them earlier, but it took all of this mixing and whatever for it to show. That corner is very unique. I cannot say I like it or dislike it, but it's very unique. See that? Now that looks very unique. Let me see. And look how it continues. That brown, like rocks and water. You ever see those islands? And it's like a whole bunch of them. Whole bunch of those rocks. Alright guys. Thank you for joining me. I really appreciate you and your patience and your time. I hope you like it. Let me lift you up high so you get a real bird's eye view. See my other painting over there? My other paint? Ugh. I don't even want to think about it. That's tomorrow. But thanks for joining me. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Come back. Comment. It helps the channel. But thank you for spending your time with me. This is Andrea, and I'm just painting.